So thank you for everybody coming to the privacy talk. I'm so quite honored to invite Mandana from Singapore, but she has experience in all over the world. And again, I'm quite so very happy to explore her story and her commitment in this moment. So Mandana, thank you for having the interview today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, Kohei-san. I appreciate it, and I'm very excited to speak with you about my career, my ambitions, and also privacy, which is a very important topic, I know, for both of us.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to speak about her profile. With more than 20 years of experience in cybersecurity and networking industry, Mandana Javaheri is a Microsoft Asian General Manager, Security and Business. She leads the team of security specialists and trusted advisors that help customers define their security strategy and secure the business operations by modernizing their security infrastructure. Prior to this role, Javaheri led the Microsoft Security, Compliance, and Identity Partner Development team globally. She also brings experience from previous roles, including CTO and Head of Technology Alliances at Zavils, a network forensic company, where she defined the product and technology directions, as well as led strategic partnership, product management, and development. Javaheri serves an advisor board for big data at Rogers, Kudo, and Wirex. She has a banker's degree in electric engineering from Azaz University and MBA from San Francisco State University with concentrations in finance and management, and holds certification in security M&A, product management, and leadership. She is now based in Singapore. So this is a brief introduction. Having a great conversation with you, Mandana.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the introduction. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So let's jump into today's agenda. Yep. So I would like to ask you about your history because you have many of the experiences so far, especially for the cybersecurity. So how did you get interested in the cybersecurity space?
Yeah, as you just read my bio, I've been always in technology because I had an electrical engineering background, and I'm actually originally from Iran. So I got my degree, started my first company when I was 18. It was around kind of industrial automation and working with food industry to control and automate how they mix the ingredients to be more efficient. So that was my first company that I started with a few of my friends. And then we sold that company to a private equity firm, started the second company, and at that point I was thinking about getting my MBA and come to the US to get the MBA and then go back home, but I just stayed in the US. So I moved to San Francisco almost 20 years ago. And that was when I started getting into networking and network management, network performance management. And throughout the years, from going from networking, it was a good progression to get into network forensics. Based on the packet analysis, because as you know, network performance management is all about deep packet inspection and seeing the truth through the packets. So when I was a CTO at my previous company, that was really when we were brainstorming on how we can use our network performance technology to solve the security challenges that organizations were facing. So that's how originally I got into security. But for me, my job needs to have a purpose. And of course, a lot of technology roles can have a pretty good purpose, and you can have an impact in the society, in the life of people, the citizens, the nations, etc. But security was one which was very obvious to me, that with really the cyber crimes being on the rise in the past many years, the talent shortage that we also have in the industry as a whole, and the fact that, to me, having diverse talents and defenders is very important, because the challenge that we are having is very diverse and very complex, and solve it with diverse talents. And me being the voice of the diverse defenders that we can actually have in these roles was also one of my big push to get into the industry, to really help and contribute and be a part of making the world a safer place for everybody. So that purpose was very important for me. And then on the side note, I also love physical criminology and forensics. So I'm a fan of all the series that they focus on forensics, watched all of them very religiously. So that was also for me thinking, okay, I really love the physical criminology and forensics. And the closest I can get with technology would be on the cybersecurity side. So that was also one of my passion that I can also get in my role currently, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. So you have many things until to work in a Microsoft. So why did you decided to join the Microsoft? I assume that's been they invested a lot of things, security, of course, in the privacy as well. So could you share us the your ideas of why you choose to work there?
Yes, actually, before joining Microsoft, I've been always with startups. So I was an entrepreneur myself as I started my career, and when I moved to the US, I worked at a few startups. And so Microsoft is actually my first big company experience. And at that point, when I joined, we had what we used to call the Cybersecurity Solution Group, which was um, an incubation for cybersecurity inside Microsoft. Obviously, security was always part of our DNA, that we need to make sure we build security into everything we do, privacy as well. And we talk about that a little bit on what is really our approach, which honestly, it hasn't changed. Since I joined Microsoft, or before that, on what are the fundamental principles of privacy for Microsoft. But at that point in 2016, we were starting to get really serious in security from the perspective of becoming a security company, right? When I joined Microsoft, we were saying we are a secure company, meaning our goal is to make sure our platform is secure. And of course, we build security into everything we do, including our R&D and the product design, etc. And you can see the evolution throughout the years, that we went from we are a secure company to we are one of the largest security organizations out there. And I was very fortunate and lucky to be part of that transition and evolvement in the past 6 years. So at the beginning, when I joined, the idea was, okay, what is Microsoft's security strategy with partners globally? Because as you know better than me, on the security, privacy, compliance, it's really not something that one organization can do on their own. So we knew from the get-go that we need to work with our peers. And some of those peers can be even the products or capabilities that might be competing with some of our capabilities. But that's not the point. The point is our customer invested on those products. We need to work with them. We need to make sure the integrations are in place to make their life easier. We also knew it's not just about the technology when it comes to security, privacy, and compliance. We need partners like advisories, like global system integrators, like managed security and managed detection and response providers to support our technology, to wrap around their services, to provide that holistic approach that our customers are looking for. So my role was really to come in, build our global partner ecosystem, both on the ISV side as well as on the services side, because to us, security is not something that either any public sector or for private sector organization can do on their own. And then you also know that we work very closely with the government on a lot of initiatives that we're driving. So it was great run for me for 5 years to now, if you look globally, we have a lot of strong partners in the ecosystem for Microsoft. And then this role that I have, which basically is the security lead for our Asia business, it's great for me because, first of all, personally, coming into a region with so many diverse culture, languages, the way that people interact, the way that business is done, when we think about the regulations that our customers have to comply with, it's endless, the number that we have to do and support here in the region. And, you know, some of the limitations in general that we also have from the resources perspective, some of the rules perspective that customers are limited to, some regulations that they need to comply with. It's a very diverse region to really learn and understand. And then of course, you know, just for us, how we can think of, you know, what we call born in Asia, and how to think about how things evolved. And now it's really a hub. Asia is a hub for many different opportunities that we have. And Microsoft wants to really be part of that and drive those advancements in the region. So I'm very excited to be part of it.
Yeah, thank you for the very great coverage that you are committed in this moment. I'm quite so exciting that's been a Microsoft. It's been expanding of the partnership since I involved in some of the startups before. Then the
Yep.
Microsoft is a great partners to support the startups. That is a
Great.
very
Yes.
great initiative then helpful for the new technology. So I'd like to move to the next questions. This is about transitions. You mentioned about the security is not the one single company is that need to collaborate or make a partnership via secure environments. So how was the Microsoft approach to privacy and security changed since the beginning of the secure management or any approach that we've been involved in this moment?
Yeah, I would say on the privacy side, honestly, our approach is that we build on trust. We really believe if our customers don't trust us, they won't be investing in us, and they won't be trusting us, providing their technology, securing them, you know, help them becoming compliant, etc. And every breach is a breach of trust. So, and that's why you see that privacy in security, it's built in our DNA, because we really believe if we can't get that right, we can't have the trust of our customers. So I would say on the privacy side, as I said, our principle really hasn't changed. We value, we protect and defend privacy. We believe privacy is a fundamental human right. And we are committed to providing our customers with the product, information, controls that allows them to choose, for example, how the data is collected, is processed, it's used. And also, at the end of the day, we never use any data that the customers are not allowing us to use, right? So we take that very seriously. As you can imagine, because of the capabilities we have around the world and the telemetry that we are actually collecting from all of our products. It can be consumer products like Xbox, for example, or it can be all of our enterprise capabilities on the cloud side, on our email system, on our identity and access management and authentication authorizations that we do from our Bing, for example, crawling the web, etc. All those data that we are collecting, it's very important for us to make sure the privacy is top of mind for us, that we are not using any data that the customers are not allowing us to use, and make those information anonymous, normalize them, because at the end of the day, we collect that data, and that's the beauty of Microsoft, the threat intelligence that we have visibility into, that can help us have this insight that we can be transparent and share with our customer, and help them protect themselves further, but also more importantly, constantly improve our detection and response capabilities in the product, right? So we always, as I said, the most important things, we never use any of the customer data that we are not allowed to use. The customers have 100% control over their data. You know that through our privacy dashboard, the customer can select which data to keep, which data to delete. And they have visibility into all that information about their private data all the times. We also protect the customers by using encryption and other security best practices to make sure we are protecting them constantly. And you've seen us being a very strong advocate to on the privacy laws and protections, and putting the right Privacy Act in place for our customers to protect them. So we've been very involved also with some of the governments on making sure those happen, right? So that I would say hasn't really changed. Of course, and we talk about it a little bit later on some of the capabilities, but you see, in addition to building privacy into, like, for example, our cloud, right? To making sure that the customer has visibility into what we collect, how we process the data, how we retain the data, what are the policies that the customer has control over to set, etc. But also the capabilities that over time we come up with to help customers with their data protection, data governance, privacy, etc. So I would say we evolved a lot in creating capabilities that can help our customers protect themselves over the years, but the principle hasn't changed. And on the security side, very similar. Security was always in the DNA, but again, at that point when I joined, it was about making sure our platform is secure. And now our position is the customer has hybrid environment. They have multi-cloud strategy. They have multi-platform strategy, and we want to meet them wherever they are. Our goal is to help secure and protect our customers' entire environment, and not just Microsoft platform. So that I would say has been an evolution, and since I joined Microsoft on the security side.
Thank you. Yeah, I understand that Microsoft has not changed the core concept to protect the customers. I respect those kind of the initiative. The mindset is very important to get the relationship, the trusted relationship with the customers and the users. So that is a very important principle. For the practical solutions, maybe the Microsoft is providing some of the products and the services to protect the personal data. This is a very important for your clients and users. So could you share about some of the products such as the Microsoft Privacy Reports or any other recommendation that you are committed this moment?
Yeah, for sure. So as you know, we do the privacy report twice a year, and the goal for that is few things. One is for us to be very transparent on what information, what personal data we collect, how we use it, and we share those details based on the different services that we offer, and we are being very transparent with our customers. While I also said we have this dashboard that the customer can actually control everything and also see how their data is being used, etc. Another reason for that is to look at some of the trends we see in the industry, both on the consumer side as well as on the enterprise and larger organization side, what we see and how we can respond to those, right? So how we can make sure what we design, what we go to market with, how we help our customers is aligned with their needs. So the last report which we published was in October of 2022, basically a couple of months ago. And we've seen a continuous interest from our consumer customers for tools to protect the security and privacy of their data. So that was one which was top of mind of the consumer side of the business. And we also have seen increasing initiatives from governments and businesses to keep the personal data in their jurisdictions and under their sovereign control, right? So those were the two trends that we've seen since the previous report that we've done in April, right? So in order to respond to that, we continue to release tools to help protect the data of our customers. And one of the capabilities that we announced is the Microsoft Defender for individuals, which is an anti-phishing and anti-malware capability for end user, for consumers, for families basically, and it has a unified dashboard that they can see how they're being protected, right? So that's one which is in response to our consumer customers asking for more protection and security and privacy of their data. On the more of an organizational and enterprise side, we've had multiple capabilities on information protection and data governance, insider risk management, compliance manager, that now they're all under the umbrella of Microsoft Purview. So those capabilities, they've been available for a while, but we are evolving them. I was actually looking at Compliance Manager, which is basically how customers can assess their environment against the regulations that they need to comply with. And we now have these customized templates. And I was looking at just the Asia list of all the different regulations that are now available as templates that the customer can assess their environments against those templates. Like, for example, I've seen the Japan Privacy Mark, the Korea Personal Information Protection Act, for Malaysia Personal Data Protection Act, PDPA, Asia Pacific Economic Corporation, the APEC Privacy Framework. So there's like so many that are that we have just for this region. Of course, this is global, but it's great to see all these templates available, which is regional and can also help our customers here. That's just one example of how we also have the customers globally in mind as we design these products. So that's on the Purview, which I said it has multiple different capabilities from audit capabilities, e-discovery, information protection, data governance, insider risk management. We also believe in general for protecting ourselves, whether for data protection and privacy, we need a holistic approach to security. And I know zero trust is kind of a very overused words now, but it takes us back to basics. That basically we shouldn't be trusting anybody, and we should verify everything explicitly, right? So, and for us, identity and access management is a very important part of the zero trust frameworks. Obviously, zero trust touches identity, users on the identity side, devices, applications, data, network infrastructure, all those components that we need to protect and secure. But also we see really protecting the front door is what we want our customers to do. So the product sets or suites of Entra, which we also recently announced, brings all of our identity and access management capability, including, for example, permission management, which can also apply to privacy, and how we can really make sure the people who are not in our company anymore, the people who change role, for example, their permission changes and they're not going to have access to all the data that they don't need access anymore. So like the EPM was like a new add-on into our Entra portfolio of products. And then you probably know already on Microsoft, on the PRIVA, the privacy management capability that we announced in 2021, actually. But that really is designed to address the privacy issues of large organizations. So it gives customers visibility into risks associated with their personal data in their Microsoft 365 environment. And then it also enables them to respond to and manage data subject rights requests more efficiently, and doing it automatically, right? So all of these capabilities, they are really helping our customers protect their data, protect their privacy. And every customer is different, right? Everybody is at a different maturity level. And that's why the work that my team does, which is basically really be an advisor to our customers, sitting on with them, understand their pain point, and then help them increase their security posture, help them become more compliant, and help them with some of the obligations they have for compliance and privacy, leveraging our technology.
Yeah, there is a bunch of the practices. I think it's a very comprehensive, even for the beginners of the security and privacy. I think the advisor role is very helpful for them to educate, to learn, because yeah, I think that the security and privacy is a very complex. It's not easy to understand for the beginners to join this environment. I think the Microsoft initiative very helpful. Even for the small and medium size, they can easy to comply with the data protection and secure environment. So that is very awesome. So I'd like to move to the future with you. You have many experiences, not only for Asia, but also US or other regions. And I'm happy to talk with you about the strategy for Asia. So how do you envision the Asian strategy in Microsoft? And it's a very interesting concept, made in Asia and born in Asia. Could you tell us about the details of that?
Yeah, for sure. So, for many years, for decades, Asia was viewed as a world factory, right? But that's not the case anymore. So we went from the low value, not low value, but like something that we were saying made in Asia, being overtaken by the high value of born in Asia, with creativity, originality, and the knowledge. And this has made the region a new global powerhouse of innovation, right? That could generate around half the world's GDP by 2050. And then a lot of investment on the R&D side, which is really account for more than half of the R&D investments by 2030. So we really believe the economic prospects certainly look very bright for Asia. But we also, for us to be successful, it really also depends on the ability to advance socially in diverse, inclusive, and sustainable way. And that's where we believe Microsoft fits in. We are, first of all, fulfilling our mission in Asia as a trusted ally, dedicated to empowering the region as an engine of innovation to drive these progress that collectively, I would say, the public sector and the private sector need to come together to push that agenda, right? So if you think about Microsoft, we've been operating in the region for more than 3 decades now. And we have presence in 23 Asian markets today. If you think about from the talent perspective, we have about 30,000 people across sales, marketing, operation, engineering, and developers that they're serving our customers in this market. And we also work with ecosystem of thousands of partners in the region. You've also probably know that we have established our two largest research centers outside of United States in China and India. So we are definitely committed to building this trust that I mentioned at the beginning, which is really the most important things for us at all the levels. And that's why we focus on strengthening the privacy protection, countering the security threats, and also ensuring the AI is used more responsibly. That's also very important, top of mind for us. And then you think about how we are embracing the inclusivity and diversity. So you see us investing in major initiatives with the government and private sector to upskill the workforce of today and foster the next generation of leaders and technologists. And we really believe we need to tap into the diverse talents that they're still out there that we really need to develop. We need to give them opportunities, and then we also need to make sure we retain those talents. Obviously on our cloud side of the business, on the cloud infrastructure, we have 20 data center regions across 11 markets. In India alone, our data center regions has added 1.5 million jobs to the economy over the past 5 years. And, even outside of the infrastructure, for example, regional expansion in Malaysia, Indonesia, in Taiwan, they're set to generate more than 21 billion in net new revenue and create 100,000 new jobs by 2025. So we also contribute from creating jobs in the region. And then one very important point here is that you mentioned on the startups. Asia has the world basically largest and youngest cohort of digital natives, right? A new generation of consumers who are mobile first, constantly online, social media savvy, very comfortable with e-commerce and electronic payments, etc. So the technology is really in their DNA. And we really believe Asia emerge as the startup hub of the world. In countries like China, in India, in South Korea, they're among the top 10 countries where unicorns are created, right? So you see Microsoft has a lot of initiatives around digital native, how we can support the startups, leveraging our technology, whether it's our cloud, whether it's our data and AI, and also on the security and privacy, how we can support those businesses to stay safe, stay secure. So I would say that's a pretty big initiative. We have a few initiatives, the Microsoft for Startup Funders Hub in Asia, and a few other projects that we work with our partners, for example, like Accenture, to help the startups in the region. And then finally, I want to really talk about, again, how we can build a more diverse pool of talents So you see us, for example, support the growth of talent that we collaborated with ASEAN Foundation in early year 2022 to launch an ASEAN cybersecurity skilling program, for example. Also, for example, in India, we have a program called Cyber Shishka, which is to basically breaking down the traditional gender divides by providing young women with cybersecurity technical trainings and mentorships. So Microsoft is very engaged and very active on building skills, building diverse talents in the region. Especially these are like very close to my heart, to really help young, diverse talents really get into the industry, because we need more people. We really don't have enough talents, and we know the talent shortage is not going to go anywhere. So these are some of the really top of mind for us for Asia.
Yeah, from our conversation today, I'm quite also excited that's been a Microsoft initiative to support, especially for the next generations, to produce the digital environment that become more safer, that become more secure, that more helpful. Even the minority people can join. That's been a great initiative. We should collaborate in some ways. That's been a very exciting time that you mentioned. So
For sure.
finally, yeah, could you share any message from your side? I think Microsoft is working of the multiple stakeholders to create a new environment. So I'm happy to give in any message from your side.
So I would say always the message go back to our mission, right? Our mission as a company is to empower every person and every organization to achieve more. And everything we do, no matter what the technology is, really goes back to that mission, right? So I would say, um, for us to achieve that mission, first of all, we need to constantly build and maintain the trust that I mentioned at the beginning. And I really believe any breach is a breach of trust. So we really work hard to make sure we are building and maintaining security, privacy in our DNA, in everything we do, whether it's our product design, product development, whether it's our collaboration with the customers, partners, supply chain, whether it's how we build products to protect and secure our customers. Really, that security and privacy is top of mind for us. And at the end of the day, we are really committed to make this world a safer place and more secure place for everybody. And that's why you see all the global initiatives that we have really works toward that mission and that goal.
Thank you. Well, that's a great message. And I'm so inspired from your commitment and initiative. Then I'm happy to expand this message to the privacy security community to encourage together. So
Thank you.
again,
Thank you so much.
thank you for having a great time. And then at this moment, let's keep working so hard for the great initiative in the future.
Great, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, and this was also a very exciting session for me to speak with you. And I know you also have a lot of experience in this area, so would love to have more of these conversations with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.